How much do you want to pay for the NFL and college football season? You decide how much you want to save. Right now, WagerTalk is offering their lowest price for the 2021 NFL and college football seasons. From now through the start of the regular season, we are offering special early bird pricing, but these prices will increase by $20 per sport and $30 for the college football and NFL combo every week until the season kicks off. Save up to $200 this week by buying your favorite WagerTalk capper for the package, and remember, the longer you wait, the less you save.
We is live. Steve Merril joining me. I'm Lawrence Presman. It's WagerTalk Today, July 29th, a Thursday. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, and it's always good to be live, right? It's always good to be live. As Tony Finn would say, he woke up, so it's a good day.
Yeah, we got a jam-packed show today, so not much small talk at the beginning of the show. Some would like that, others wouldn't, but so be it. Dave Cokin joining us. Right off the top, we're going to talk the Baltimore-Detroit game, the Boston Blue Jay game, and one more as well, Carmine, Bianco, to take a look at the two Gold Cup soccer matches. One's tonight, one's over the weekend. And Steve Merril, we've got a awesome guest today, Jeff Benson, a sportsbook operations manager from the Circa Sportsbook. We got a lot to talk to him about, brother. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I agree. We're going to keep this short because what we learned is going to come up a little bit later when we talk to Jeff, and I'm looking forward to it. You talk about two of the best football contests I've ever seen. They've got an NFL Pick 5 $1 million contest, and they've got a Survivor contest, Prez, and that's what I'm really excited to talk about because I know so many of our viewers do their own Eliminator contest, Survivor contest, and this one has a pretty damn cool twist. Whereas if you go 20-0, you win a bonus $1 million along with the jackpot. You might say, how can you go 20-0 when there's only 18 weeks? They came up with a pretty cool concept, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But the other thing I wanted to talk to Jeff about, which we're going to get to, is they really are real bookmakers. They take balanced action. They put odds out. They really took an aggressive stance on the Aaron Rodgers situation. They let you play the yes and the no while teams win divisions. So in-depth NFL futures talk as well. And I'm going to save what I learned because I'm going to learn a lot here in the next few minutes from Dave Cokin, Carmine, and from Jeff. And we're going to get some baseball today before we get to some soccer with Carm and some NFL futures with Jeff. So it's a great show today.
Yeah, and Carm's already in the chat room making some noise. He pointed out that both the Gold Cup games are today, so my bad. Sorry about that. Steve, let's bring Dave in. Let's get straight to the show. Let's go. Dave Cokin, how are you, my friend? What's going on? It's been a while. How's your summer? How's everything?
Everything's all right. Looking forward to the start of the football season. Hoping that we don't run into, excuse me, what we ran into last season, which was a lot of cancellations.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a certain degree of pessimism about that, but working on the teams and power ratings and doing the shows with Joe Madden, previewing conferences. We're going to do a couple more today, and season's almost here.
Yes, sirree, and I agree with you, man. That the COVID disruptions last year, it messes with your rhythm, your flow. It definitely affected everyone. Tony had it bad too. I mean, Tony, a lot of Tony's handicapping comes from his contacts with beat writers, and they weren't allowed in any of the dressing rooms. They had no real inside info. So, I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not easy to win, and every little small advantage counts, and COVID definitely got in the way of that. Dave, let's get straight to it, man. Let's start off with what happened in Minnesota last night, because it leads us straight into the Baltimore-Detroit game. 31 runs. How close to the record was that? I didn't look, but 17-14 just feels like such a rounded, perfect NFL score. But that's what it was, 17-14 last night. Detroit is now playing Baltimore. We have a total of 10 on tap. Detroit is minus 150. It's now, there's a couple of 160, 65s on the board. Talk quickly about where 31 sits in the pantheon of baseball history, if you know, and how do we attack this game?
I don't know any baseball trivia. Don't care about it. Don't know about it.
Okay.
So I have one good trivia question regarding baseball, which I'll ask you guys now, and then I'll give you the answer before I sign out of here. Who's the last American League most valuable player who was a switch hitter?
Ooh.
So you can think about that, and the people watching can think about that. And I'll give you the answer in a little bit. It's a very good trivia question. Somebody told me about this years ago, and I've remembered it. Otherwise, I would have no knowledge because I don't care about that stuff. Anyway, Tigers, I mean, they're killing lefties, and they're facing one. Wells isn't going to be out there for long for the Orioles. He's a relief pitcher, but at least they get to face a lefty for a little bit. And they've got a WRC plus this month against lefties of 131. League average is 100. They're at 131, so they're killing the ball. And obviously should be feeling good about their offensive prowess coming out of that game at Minnesota yesterday, where they beat up Jay Happ and others in the Twins bullpen and put 17 runs up. Orioles, look, they're trying. I like the attitude this team has. They do go out there and compete on a daily basis. They're just not very good. The problem here is that, do you really want to lay 8-5 with the Tigers? I don't know. I would assume that's the biggest favorite they've been all season. And part of that has to do with having an edge on the mound with Mize, even though his innings are limited now. Mize is not going to be going deep into games the rest of the season. And of course, the Orioles aren't very good, and they have a relief pitcher going. So you can justify, I guess, Detroit being this big a favorite. I don't want to lay it, but that's the only side I'd look at.
Yeah, and Dave, this big picture going forward, I mean, Detroit does look like they've been playing better baseball the last few weeks, but of course, most of those wins, as you know, came against the Twins and Rangers. I think they had a 12-game set against the Twins and Rangers at one point, and now they're catching the Orioles. As you said, I mean, they are a big favorite here. Are you a believer in the Tigers going forward? I know they're limiting Mize pitch count. We saw that, and also some of their other guys. Is this a team you tread lightly with once they start playing better competition?
Yeah, and I also think that the fact that Mize and Skubal will be on restricted pitch counts the rest of the way and could even get shut down at some point for load management reasons, that would make me a little hesitant to be looking to play the Tigers. But one thing to remember is A.J. Hinch has changed the attitude and the mindset of this team. They're not the Tigers that we've seen the last few years. They're still obviously a team with some flaws, but they're heading in the right direction. And I think the guys in the roster seem to know that. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm. They're having fun, and they're probably better than most people expected them to be, including myself. I didn't think Detroit would be as decent as they've been over the last couple months.
Dave Cokin joining us. Dave, it looks like 49 is the most runs scored in a baseball game back in 1920. I know you don't care, but hey, I asked that question. I might as well try answer it myself. Blue Jays, Dave, playing Boston. They just made a trade as well. Yesterday, they split both 4-1 games. Today, we have a 10.5 on the board with Ryu on the mound and minus 119 to the Toronto Blue Jays. No, to the Boston Red Sox. Right. Well, I got Ryu as a dog in 10.5. I mean, my initial is Toronto's live and the under's in play. How are you breaking this one down?
Well, I think the weather could have something to do with the total because the wind's blowing out and you got two lefties on the mound at Fenway. So I'm not sure I'd want to get involved with the under. Not that there's anything wrong with these two pitchers. Ryu's obviously a very good pitcher, although he has not been in great form lately. And Eduardo Rodriguez, he shows up and the Red Sox win. I think they're 13-6 when he starts this year, and that includes all those struggles that he had early in the season. They kept on winning anyway. He has really turned things around. Erod is pitching good ball right now. I give the edge on the mound of the Red Sox, and haven't played the game because I just don't like, I'm looking for dogs primarily, and the Red Sox aren't a dog, but I think Boston's in good shape to win this game. Erod's in better form than Ryu, and the Red Sox, they can do some damage to lefties. So can the Blue Jays, for that matter. I think you might actually get a high-scoring game here, despite the fact you got two quality pitchers. With the fact both teams are raking against lefties for the most part, and the fact the wind is blowing out at Fenway, you got to get a couple of home runs in this game, I would think, for sure. And if they happen to come with men on base, game's going to go over.
And Dave, I'm not going to see you tomorrow and get a chance to talk with you, but I definitely want to pick your brain about the Toronto Blue Jays, because starting tomorrow on the 30th on Friday, they do return to the Rogers Center. At least that's what I'm seeing. So we'll see how that plays out. Big picture takeaway, how are you going to handicap Toronto? Obviously, their overall offensive numbers have been inflated the last couple of years, as the semi-home team in these minor league parks in Buffalo and Florida. But they're still a pretty good offensive team on the road. They haven't shown it necessarily here in Fenway this week. But just big picture takeaway, they're returning to Toronto. If you think it'll be a bump for them as a positive, especially when at home.
I don't know. It has to, that's something I'd just be guessing at, and I really don't know. I don't think the crowds are going to be that big. So who knows? But I tell you one thing, this is still regardless if they're moving to Skydome or wherever, this team can hit. They've got some sticks in this lineup. So the odds makers will adjust the total anyway. Totals will probably, I'm guessing, come down a half run. So I don't think you're going to have necessarily an advantage there. To me, you got to just, it's like with most things, you got to wait and see how it plays out. There aren't too many times where I can get that far out in front of a move because of feeling confident one way or the other about what's going to take place. I don't have any special feeling as far as that goes here. So we'll see what the adjustments are for the team when they move into their actual home ballpark.
Dave Cokin joining us. Everybody, you can find Dave at WagerTalk.com. Dave, your college football is a thing of legend. Are you deep into the studying already? It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I've got all my numbers done. Now it's just a matter of adjusting them as we get closer to the start of the season. We might have some personnel changes, injuries, whatever. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But I'm ready. I'm just not playing anything early. And the reason I'm not playing anything early, quite frankly, is I don't want to get caught in the revolving door that occurred last year where I'd end up playing games early in the week, and then the game would either get canceled or you get some personnel information with 25 guys being out. I had a good season, so I'm not complaining. But I like having as much information as possible. So I haven't played any games yet. If it costs me a little value, so be it. I want to know who I've got on the field in these games. So I'll probably be waiting till the week of the opening week games, week 0 and week 1, to actually get involved with any bets.
Yeah, and it's interesting because some of the handicappers at WagerTalk.com in NFL particularly are already up for week 1 with plays locked and loaded. And I'm like you, Dave. I don't expect any NFL bets in week 1 from me until, week 1. I need to wait it out too, right till the end, see what's going on, and especially with preseason ahead of us. Dave, Los Angeles Angels playing Oakland. Oakland losers of 4 of their last 5, but did beat San Diego 10-4 last night. LA Angels, opposite, winners of 4 of their last 5 with an 8-7 victory against Colorado. We don't, as of now, I don't even have a starter for the Angels game. Maybe you do, but tell me what's going on. How are we doing this one?
It's Cobb's turn, but I don't know if he's going or not. He had a little bit of I think it was a blister issue in his last start. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I can give you the answer to the trivia question because it actually involves a former Oakland A. Did anybody come up with an answer, by the way? Because I can't see the chat. The question was, who was the last switch hitter to win the American League Most Valuable Player Award? And it's kind of a trick answer because the last switch hitter to win the American League Most Valuable Player Award was Vida Blue, their pitcher from way back when.
Wow.
I see what you did there.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky.
He was a switch hitter. Hitter.
One guy, Daryl Benton wrote Kirby, but
Kirby Puckett.
I said Mickey Mantle was the only thing I could think of was Mickey Mantle. That's the only thing I could think of.
Right. It couldn't have been that easy. So it was Vida Blue. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you about this game. I'll give you a little bit of info on Montes. He's pitching better lately. His OPS the month of July, 652. That contrasts better than his well with his season numbers. So he's in decent form. Don't know what to tell you on the Angels, except one thing we've seen about the Angels, every time they get over 500, and it's like, okay, here we go. They go backwards. So they got over 500 last night. So they'll probably struggle here. Oakland finally got some offense last night. They did make a deal to pick up Marte from the Marlins. That will definitely help them. They need a bat. They need some speed. That's going to be a plus for Oakland. But their offense has been pretty bad lately. Again, I really don't know without knowing what the situation is going to be. If the Angels are going with bullpen guys, I sure don't want them because that bullpen is not good.
Dave Cokin. Dave, anything to promote? When are we getting some college football packages up for our clients from you? I know everybody's waiting.
The packages are up. So get them now. I don't know what they're priced at. I don't take care of that. WagerTalk takes care of all that. So if you go to my homepage, they'll be there. What is it? WT.buzz/DC is my homepage at WagerTalk. So you can look and see what the packages are there. The numbers speak for themselves in my college football over the years, and hopefully we'll put together another great season.
Excellent stuff. Thanks for joining us, man. Really, really appreciate it. We'll see you next Thursday. Hope you have a wonderful week. Guys, we've got a jam-packed show still coming. Steve Merrill's Big Game Breakdown, Carmine's 2 Gold Cup bets, and of course, the Sportsbook manager from Circa Sports joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Give us 20 seconds.
From now until the end of July, all WagerTalk and Sports Memo customers can load as many as 3 and 7-day all-access passes as they want into their shopping cart and take 60% off using coupon code CART60. This coupon code can be used only once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, but there is no limit to the amount of 3 and 7-day all-access passes you can load into your cart when redeeming. Every handicapper is eligible, so take advantage of the biggest discount we have ever offered. And don't forget, coupon code CART60 can only be used once per site and expires when the clock strikes midnight on July 31st.
It's time for a little big game breakdown here for Thursday, July the 29th, Thursday night baseball. We're going to look at a game in the American League between 2 bottom feeders. Hey, I looked at one yesterday on Wednesday between 2 bottom feeders, and that Rangers and D-backs game stayed under. Now I'm going to look at an over between 2 bottom feeders, and that's the over between the Orioles and Tigers. Tigers playing excellent baseball, $1.50 favorite, though I'm not going to kind of lay that juice with a team like Detroit still. But I am interested in the over 10. Now, this line opened 9.5, flat in some spots. A couple of spots still have 9.5 to the over out there as of Thursday afternoon, but most of them have gone to 10 under, which means you can get 10 minus 0.5 with Baltimore and Detroit over tonight. And both offenses in good current form. No question the Tigers in good current form. This is a team that scored 17 runs last night against Minnesota on 16 hits. They had 6 and 5 runs the 2 games before that on 17 hits. They've had now 8 hits or more in 5 of their last 6 games. That's above the league average. They continue to play good baseball. Now, I know that their recent winning ways, blah, 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 have come against the Twins and Tigers. They had a 12-game set against those 2 teams in the past couple of weeks. Now they play the Orioles. The fact of the matter is they're hitting the ball well, and I think that continues tonight. Baltimore's been one of the worst pitching teams in baseball this season. Their bullpen is shaky. Detroit's bullpen is awful. Their starting pitchers are on pitch counts, and after that 31-run game last night in Minnesota, and now traveling back home without rest, can't imagine they have much left in the bullpen tonight. So this one sets up for a high-scoring shootout. You know, we often say you don't want to overthink it. When offenses are in good current form in baseball, that normally continues until we see otherwise. Baltimore Orioles, by the way, 8 hits or more in all 4 of their last games. They put up 5 runs or more now in 4 of their last 5 games. So both teams in excellent current form offensively, 4 pitching staffs. That's why this total has gone from 9.5 to 10 in most locations, but it's still not high enough. Baltimore Orioles, Detroit Tigers over the total tonight, over 10 runs, goes at 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Back to you, Prez.
Steve Merril, great stuff. Love that handicap. Couldn't agree more. Steve, today, our last day, the two of us, for our 3 weeks of No Teddy. You're doing the show tomorrow with Rob Vino. But you'll be back because I'm going to be taking many days off for the rest of the summer, and you'll sit in my chair with Teddy. But, man, you did an outstanding job, so hats off to you. It's a real pleasure. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do noon to 1 with Teddy and then 1 to 4 with you. That would be a perfect day, bro. But alas, that isn't going to happen. Let's bring our buddy Carmine in, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet. And Carm, I know you've invited Viv and I to the TFC game next Saturday. We're still trying to figure it out. My bad. Welcome to WagerTalk Today. Really psyched to have you, man. Steve, I don't know if you know this, but there are some things at WagerTalk that are just ingrained. Dave Cokin's college football, Tokyo Brandon, period, and Carmine Bianco's soccer. Carm, talk to me, man. How are you still killing it? I mean, you were up serious sums of money last time we were on here.
Yeah, it's still doing good. And 6 plays yesterday in soccer, 5 wins, 1 push. So we're forging on. The EPL. All the big leagues start in less than 2 weeks' time. So I'm looking forward to it. Doing a bunch of preview shows on Stoppage Time and some great deals still up on my page for the coming season. So if you head over to WagerTalk.com, click on my capper page, you'll find them there. But anytime, everything you see is Johnny is number 1 in everything, but he's not number 1 in soccer. Lifetime at WagerTalk. So I'll hang my hat on that one.
Who? Oh, Gianni.
Gianni.
I thought you said Johnny. Anyway, dude, let's get into it, man. We got Gold Cup going tonight. 2 games. Let's start with Mexico minus 182 against Canada, who's plus 550 and just came off a beautiful victory. Draw is plus 275. Are you going to stick with the home team and take the 550, or are you going to break our red and white hearts?
I'm going to have to, listen, on the last show, I did say take Canada plus 200 over Costa Rica. It was a wrong line. I knew Canada would win that game, and they won that game 2-0 over Costa Rica. This Canadian team is playing extremely well. But, Prez, this tournament isn't like the Euros. It isn't like South America's Copa America, where you see the best of the best for all the teams. This one here it's more of you're seeing a lot of B squads for these teams, U.S., Canada. It's more of a prelude to the World Cup qualifying that starts in September, and just building and getting a lot of your B players some playing time. So it doesn't carry the same prestige. And you're just a Canada team that unfortunately is playing a Mexico team that just has their number. They've beaten them, I think, 21 times, 3 losses, 9 draws lifetime. And this is a Canada team. It's their B team that's playing well. They're missing 4 to 5 starters. They lose another couple players for this game due to suspensions. One is one of their core scoring players, and one's a midfielder. So it's a little tough. This is going to be a huge pro-Mexican crowd tonight at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's going to be another Mexico win. Unfortunately, you can't lay the 182, but what you can do is just lay the goal. You get plus 105 on your money, and that's really the way to go. Mexico should win this game. They take this competition seriously. They've won it a record 8 times, only lost in the semifinals 3 times. This is one where it's going to be Mexico that wins tonight. I hate to say it. I'd love to cheer for the Canadian side, but they've done enough to show that this is a team that, starting in September, can qualify for the World Cup, because they did beat a pretty good Costa Rican side.
All right, Carm, you broke the Canadian hearts there. So do I get my American flags out here for this one? Do we put these up?
Yeah, they're behind you too. Wait a minute.
They are behind
How
me.
many American flags do you own? There's 2 sitting behind you.
You can never have too many American flags in the Merril household during the Olympics. And it's actually
that's what they're for.
Every time they win a gold medal, I put another one up, right? I'm running out of flags. But Carm, the soccer didn't make the Olympics. So I guess this is their Olympics, the Gold Cup, for what it's worth. they're playing, as Rob Vina would say, Qatar, or as the red of us say, Qatar. Tony Mejia did tell us, though, that the Spanish pronunciation is Qatar, so it's actually semi-right. Rob Vina's not too Hispanic, though. USA, Qatar, let me know your thoughts on this one, and if you see an upset in this also.
Yeah, I call them Qatar as well too. This is a team that they're the Asian champs, and this is the first time invited to the Gold Cup, and they've been playing well. They've sent their A squad, which is comprised of all players that play in their domestic league, and all play for the same 4 teams. So there's a lot of cohesiveness in a tournament where a lot of the teams are using B players who don't normally play together, and that's how it is with the USA team. They've done well to get this thus far, or they've played well thus far, but it's their B team. Losing tonight isn't a big thing at the end of the day for any of you that are USA fans, because this means at the end of the day, it means nothing to this team. I'm telling you, it's about getting players, Berhalter, getting players in to get some time in. All of the US stars are in Europe right now. Pulisic with Chelsea. They're all spread out throughout Europe, training with their domestic teams because the season's starting in a couple of weeks. So these are players who wouldn't normally play, and they've done well to get as far as they can. But in their last game against Jamaica, they left it late. They were 1-1-0, 82nd minute goal in that game. But they didn't really play well. They didn't play the game. They didn't play well the game before against Canada. Scored 20 seconds in, and then were outplayed the rest of the game. They've made it this far, and I would love to see them in the finals and play against Mexico. But this is a game that is primed for an upset. And Qatar, when I sent you guys the information and I bet this game, Qatar was plus 333 on the money line. They've been taking money all day, all morning. They're down to like plus 260 right now, and you're probably going to get even more money on them at this point. But I'm gonna go with the upset here, because if Qatar scores early against this USA team who they're going to attack in this game, they just don't have USA just doesn't have the firepower to come back and win the game. That firepower is all in Europe right now. The USA's A team would be favored by a goal, at least a goal in this game. You can tell by the very low line on USA that the bookmakers know this isn't their best team. So I hate to say it, I'm going against the Canadians. I'm going against the USA team, but it's Qatar plus 333 in this game tonight.
Mexico over Canada, Qatar over drums, saxophone, and piano. It is my favorite instrument. David Gilmour just makes it sing. Let's take a quick break. We're going to get Mr. Benson, sportsbook manager at the Circa, on. Give us 20 seconds. Thanks, Carm. You owned that segment, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Gianni the Greek is number 1 in overall baseball profit this season, increasing client bankrolls by 65%. In true WagerTalk fashion, instead of raising the price on hot handicappers, we lower them. Until Sunday at midnight, you can save $220 off the cost of Aces baseball selections through the World Series when using coupon code ACE249, coming out to $249 or just over $80 per month. Ace is also number 1 this season on MLB props, and as an added bonus, we will include all of Ace's MLB props for free.
You guys are watching Wager Talk Today. We do the show every day, 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, Wager Talk TV. Steve Merril, Lawrence Presman. Steve, we are minutes away from Jeff Benson, Sportsbook Operations Manager at the Circa. I got a question for you. Last year, Carmine and I were in the Survivor contest. I'll talk about it in a second. This year, I've got 3 entries going myself. Are you involved in any of the contests that the Circa are putting together?
I'll tell you what, I'm really thinking about it because I was doing my homework last night and reading up on the two. Now, the first thing we'll point out to the viewers is that you have to sign up in person, and we'll talk to Jeff about that. But there's tons of proxy services. You and I both know a pretty good one, and we'll talk about that as well, maybe on tomorrow or next week, maybe, we'll get a chance here on the show. But yeah, viewers out there across the country, across the world, you can sign up for these contests, but I believe you got to do it in person initially, but then you can put the picks into a proxy every week. You don't have to be in Vegas after that. And you can do up to 6 entries, I believe, in the Survivor. It's a pretty cool contest. And the pick 5, there's another one's done a pick 5 for decades. I like this one a little better the way I was reading how it's written up. Pays out more spots too. They're always very top heavy, but this one pays out at least the next 50. And it also has quarter payouts, Prez, for the first 4 weeks, the next 4 weeks. I thought that was awesome because I've been in the super contest before, and I'd always have a great 4-week period and then a bad one and be out of the running, but I probably could have won one of the quarters. So really cool.
Yeah, dude, last
year
in one of the quarters, because I was in the Pick'em contest as well, I could be wrong, but I think a guy went 19-1. And yeah, I was nowhere near that guy. But that is unbelievable. And you win a lot of money in those quarters. I mean, these contests the Circa put together are just incredible. Guys watching the show, please give us a like. Close to 200 of you guys are in the chat room. Only 34 likes. I don't get it. Please help us out. It takes 1 second to hit that like button. What is the ETA for Mr. Benson? Okay, we're almost there. Steve, what's going on for tomorrow's show? You, Rob, Vino. I know Ralph offered to come on. You've got another guest. Talk to me about tomorrow's show.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to get back to Ralph. He messaged me before the show. He's got some football information, so I haven't told him yet, but it's going to be hell yes. As you know, Prez, when Ralph has some football information, we don't turn it down. So looking forward to that. And trying to connect some guys by phone because a lot of these guys are doing other shows tomorrow, including Jeff right now. That's why we're having a little bit of an issue because normally you and I are using our laptop or setup here, but these guys are such great guests. I want to get them in. I'm going to talk to Kelly later. She might do a spot as well. And also Rick Kamla, as of now, NBA TV analyst, is scheduled to come on tomorrow if we can get it worked out for his schedule. It's the day after the draft, obviously, so he's going to be extra busy. But we're hoping to get Rick Kamla on, who's a great NBA analyst. Because keep in mind, we do have the draft tonight, NBA draft tonight, and I believe WagerTalk TV is doing a draft special here this evening. Tony Mejia, Rob Vino, the usual suspects. And I don't dig too deep into it, just because it's a one and done thing. But we will definitely dig into it tomorrow because it will affect future odds and how we play NBA teams in the future here.
Yeah, the draft show tonight. Thanks for pointing that out. I mean, I tell you, what does WagerTalk missing? I mean, it's just every single sporting event we've got content for. So many different analysts, so many different personalities, never boring, always informative. And really, I'm excited, man. Toronto Raptors right in the mix in that draft. Really great top 4 or 5 NBA, future NBA players coming out too. Will be super interesting to see the order of them. I'm kind of hoping the Raptors get Mr. 7'2". But we'll see how that plays out. Steve, what were you about to say? I saw the mouth.
I was going to say, I know you love your TV shows. I'm flipping around the Olympics the other night, and I just happened, and the Iran-USA game, the basketball game, was not on live at 12:40 a.m. Eastern on any of the 4 networks we get here in the States that NBC's doing. And, of course, they show the replay yesterday afternoon, 12 hours later, which makes no sense to me. But so I turned on NBA TV to see if maybe it was on there at like 1 a.m. 2 nights ago. And the best part about that was they had a special 1-hour show about the 1996 NBA draft. It's when Iverson went number 1. Garnett was out of high school a year or so earlier. Marbury, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen went 5th to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Marbury had gone 4th to the Bucks, and they flop them. It was a pretty good. You would have liked it, Prez. It brought me down memory lane. That was my first year as a full-time professional handicapper, '96, and it was kind of a cool show. So I recommend it out there if people are interested in checking it out.
Guys, bear with us. We're just putting Jeffrey on. It should be any second now. We are having trouble connecting.
As we're talking about the guests for tomorrow, Prez. What we'll do is, if we don't make this happen, we'll bring them on tomorrow. I've got a spot open. I guess it was meant to be, right? We'll bring them on tomorrow, and I know you were looking forward to talking to him because you're in the Circa contest. Worst case scenario here, guys. We'll get this worked out after the show. We'll get them on tomorrow, and we'll talk some football contest.
It does happen.
Maybe we'll throw you in the penalty box while we wait. I'll blame
Yeah,
you.
Dan,
I'll throw
that's
you
what
in
I
the
was.
penalty box while we wait.
Yeah, Dan, you want to quickly do the penalty box segment?
Oh
Oh,
my goodness, the new penalty box.
oh! I gotta send Joe the graphic. No more penalty box segment, everybody. We have changed the name. We're still gonna change it again because I want it to say the NFL, the daily presidential address with a Z instead of an S. Oh, everyone gives a shit, Joe. Anyway, guys, I just want to shout out the daily presidential address begins today. This is the inaugural segment. I'm going to be doing the NFL presidential address every single week, and I think I'm starting next week or the week after. This year, I'll be doing it myself, me all alone, 30 minutes, uninterrupted. I might take a sip of coffee or water during it, but make sure to check that out. It's going to be really fun to do top to bottom, every game on the board, just me. So make sure to stay with us on that. As for your Major League Baseball free bets for tonight, I'm taking the Jays, Steve. I'm going to get Ryu as a pick'em slight dog. I'm going to take that bet. Brewers -1.5. I'm going to be betting that play as well. And another run line bet, the San Diego Padres -1.5. And my run line bets this year, I'm 74% in run line bets this entire baseball season. So take these run line bets seriously. I did lose a run line bet last night with the Chicago White Sox. They let us down. But there you go. Big summary. Blue Jays, Brewers -1.5, and the San Diego Padres -1.5. We're going to find new music. I keep saying NFL presidential address because it always preceded, but it ain't. It's the daily presidential address. Steve, great name, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I forgot that hockey's been over for a few weeks. So I guess we really do need to change it from the penalty box. But I love the penalty box.
We could have
I love
got
the music.
You know what they call the penalty box in rugby?
They're watching water polo. They call it something
No,
different.
it's called the
polo.
sin bin. The sin bin.
Well,
That's
call
a
that in
great
hockey,
name.
too. Yeah, but you've heard that
it's a
in
great
hockey,
name.
obviously. Yeah. The best line in Slapshot is when the goalie who has bad English is telling the girl, he goes, "You do bad, you go to the penalty box, you feel shame, then you are free." That's how you are, Prez.
Well,
you go to the penalty box, we all feel shame, and then we're all free. We're free at the end of the show.
Steve, real quick, and then we'll figure out what to do. What movie is this line from? Ready? I had sunny side up. I had sunny side down. I had sunny side all the way around.
I'm pretty good with my movies, but I do not know that one.
Guys, let me know what movie that is from. Tweet it out to me. Put it in the Slack. It's one of the best movies you'll ever see. That's it for the show, bro. You got Jeff Benson tomorrow if you can organize it. We just couldn't make it happen today. These things happen. Guys, really appreciate all the love. Michael, Dell, Javier, Logan, Dan Smith, Tobias, on and on and on. Mike Campbell. Really appreciate you guys logging on every day and staying with us all throughout the summer. Steve, best of luck tomorrow. I'm going shawarma today. Take us home, bro.
Thank you, Prez. And hey, the last 3 weeks have been a blast with you, my man. We will do some more in the future. Actually, you and I probably won't do much in the future because Teddy never takes a day off. Once he's done with vacation, it'll be another 49 weeks until he's off again. But hey, look, I look forward every day to doing this show. We'll do it again tomorrow with Rob Bino. And once again, thank you to Dave Cokin and Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com. Hey, we'll get Jeff Benson on. If we don't do a pre-record with him and show tomorrow, we'll try to get him on tomorrow to talk about the Circa contest. Great show tomorrow, regardless. Ralph Michaels, the Walking Database, will be on as well. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here Friday.
I'm coming back
TV.
in.
Oh, he's back.
Coming back in. Yeah, because one of our listeners got it right. Michael Robertson. The movie was Hot Dog with the Chinese downhill. Shannon Tweed in her prime. Naked in a Hot Tub. Just an outstanding movie. It's about 30-something years old, but I highly recommend it. Okay, now I'm going to go. Bye, everyone.
I got him back. Hey, like and subscribe.
Gianni the Greek is number one in overall baseball profit this season, increasing client bankrolls by 65%. In true WagerTalk fashion, instead of raising the price on hot handicappers, we lower them. Until Sunday at midnight, you can save $220 off the cost of Aces baseball selections through the World Series when using coupon code ACE249, coming out to $249 or just over $80 per month. Ace is also number one this season on MLB props, and as an added bonus, we will include all of Ace's MLB props for free.